Hello everybody, this is Superintendent Dr. Rob Glass with another edition of Eagle's Eye View, coming to you from the beautiful auditorium at our high school, middle school campus. Well, we have reached a milestone that we've been looking forward to for a long time. The long-awaited vaccine has finally come, and our teachers and educators, all of our staff are now eligible to get the vaccine and are registering for it as we speak. We're hopeful that in the coming weeks, all of our staff members who would like the vaccine would be able to get the vaccine, which will enhance the protection for all of us here in the school district as we operate in hybrid mode. You may also know that the Westchester Department of Health has revised its guidelines as of late for what constitutes a close contact. So for example, under the old guidelines, if there were an individual in a classroom who was COVID positive, generally speaking, that entire classroom would be required to quarantine, including the teacher and all the students in that classroom. Under the new guidelines, which model the CDC guidelines, only individuals who are within 6 feet of a COVID positive individual for 10 minutes or more cumulative in a day would need to quarantine. We expect that particularly at the middle school and high school levels that this will mean fewer staff members will need to be quarantined. And so we're going through those guidelines and we're revising our protocols to make sure that we can follow those guidelines through our own procedures internally. And once we have a handle on that, we will begin to function in those new guidelines. So we're excited about that because we think it can help us safely continue to operate more in hybrid mode with fewer closures, at least at the secondary level. At the elementary level, we're not sure if it's going to result in much change, but we will certainly look forward to following those guidelines and seeing if it keeps us operating a little bit more in hybrid mode. I want to thank you to everyone who responded about second semester placements, whether you want hybrid or whether you want remote. We have not had a lot of changes, which is good news at the elementary level. That means that our class configurations that exist now will probably continue to exist into the second semester. And it also means that you've probably been fairly happy with the situation that you're in and you would like to continue it. So thank you for that. We're also continuing to be prepared to test if we would get into a micro-cluster zone. So if that were to occur, we are prepared to move forward with COVID testing if necessary, but we will only do that if we're designated a yellow zone, an orange zone, or a red zone by the state. Lastly, we keep an eye on budget, and we want to make sure that all of the expenses that we've incurred due to COVID expenditures, due to PPE and other expenditures are accounted for as we look into the next year's budget season, and that we anticipate some difficulty in the budget process for the upcoming year, but we're hopeful that it would not result in too many reductions or difficult types of cuts for next year, but we'll keep an eye on that as the governor rolls out his budget. And I want to invite you to our next coffee and conversation, which will be January 19th between 7 and 8 p.m. We have a special speaker who will be there to talk about the new normal, creating an infrastructure for independence at the home and for students to follow schedules because we know that that is particularly important for children when they're spending a lot of time in the home as they are during hybrid and remote learning. And with that, I will thank you, as always, for your support of our schools, of our staff, and most importantly, the students that we serve. Thank you for always being there, and we look forward to serving you as we enter the second semester. Thank you very much.